Welcome to the Redvee TV preview show, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2021 season. As we look ahead to Tommy Makinson's testimonial game, it is St Helens versus the Leigh Centurions this Saturday, the 13th of March, from the Totally Wicked Stadium at 6 p.m. Fans, we cannot be in attendance, but we can buy the game on the Our League app at a cost of £5 only until midnight tonight, Friday, and it will go up to $6.99 on the day. If you're not flush with cash like me or Kev,
that's true,
and you can't afford that $1.99 extra, buy tonight. I say that, Kev, but I'm a skinflint and I've paid the £5.
Yeah, I've already bought mine. I've bought mine. Looking forward to it. I know I've seen people on Twitter on about the NRL coming back, but there's nothing like watching Saints get back underway, is there?
Yeah, and you know what? As much as it's good if you love your rugby league to watch a bit of NRL, it's not your team, is it? You can pretend to follow on all you like, but your club is the one you want to watch. And do you know what? £5, Kev. I think we alluded to the other night. Your whole family can watch for that. So if it's you, your missus, your brother-in-law, your sister, your cousin.
As long as you're not breaking the current guidelines, David.
It's a big house, Kev.
No, that's correct. You're right. You're right. It's good value for like the full family. We've said it earlier. If you pay 15 quid or 20 quid on the gate for an adult, 2 adults, couple of kids going in as well, all of a sudden it starts becoming a bit of a do. And we all want to back Tommy. So for a £5, a little bit of evening entertainment, and you'll get 2 chirpy a duo after the game as well. And I'm not on about Anton next Saturday night takeaway.
Why are about then?
Kev Cunningham and Peter Elder.
but you're right. You know what? You could take one of your kids to the game, and you could waste a £5 and 25 minutes in a queue to buy them some rubbish from the
club aren't going to let you calling it rubbish, David.
Oh, come on. It's not a gusto meal, is it, Kev?
No, it's not. It's not. No, you're right.
It's a bag of M&Ms and a bovril.
Stop it, I'm getting hungry.
There we go. So, yes, first game of the year. It is good to be back, though. This is like a warm-up for us as well, isn't it, Kev?
Yeah.
A little bit rusty, a little bit out of practice. But you know what? The tech still works.
Yes.
We're on it.
Practice of that as well. Love it.
There we go. I've mastered it, how to get it working rather than messing with the iPad and the iPhone. So yeah, Saints versus Leigh. Obviously, Tommy spent a little bit of time there early in his career, didn't he, on loan? Leigh, obviously, back in Super League. Have we worked out who the man on the right is yet, Kev?
Is it Liam Hood?
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Liam Hood's been named the captain as well, so it make a lot of sense.
So yes, we'll move on to the squad. And it's like a where's Wally? Can you spot the odd one out, Kev? Hang on, is it going to work? Hey, it works.
What am I looking for here, David?
Who's missing, Kev?
Lachlan Coote and Joe Batchelor.
Oh, correct. Joe Batchelor. Not involved, neither obviously Lachlan Coote. Are they going to be a miss for this one?
No, not really. I think this is just about getting minutes in a kind of a more competitive game than they've had. I know they had that run out against Salford that Tommy alluded to in the interview with him that's currently out on YouTube and all the socials. I think, to be honest, the likes of Joe Batchelor will be gutted at missing this, though, because it's a chance to try and show what you're worth for the first couple of rounds. So I think he will be gutted missing out. That said, I think the injuries he've said are very, very minor, so they shouldn't miss the first couple of rounds. But without having that run out, without being able to show what you can do in a bit more of a competitive environment, yeah, it's a shame for him, but I'm sure he'll be used over the season, won't he?
How nice is it to look at that squad, though, Kev? And from 1 to 30, only your number 1 and squad number 20 to actually be missing out of it. We're not far off going into the season. We're, touch wood at this point, a clean bill of health.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing for Saturday night's game as well, to get through it with no injuries. Got a couple of lads who've had a bit of surgery over the off season. Mark Percival's obviously was probably close to coming back at the end of the season last year, probably a couple of weeks away. So it'd be good to see him back in the Saints shirt, won't it? And obviously Alex Walmsley was running on one leg, so it'd be good for him to get a couple of minutes under his belt as well.
Yeah, obviously Saints fans are going to get the first looks at Sio Matautia and Ignatius Parsi in a Saints jersey. So yeah, a good chance to fans to see what they're all about, and we're all going the R-League app with Sio Matautia this Saturday night. There's a song there somewhere, Kev.
An old classic. That's it. I'm looking forward to seeing Joel Thompson as well. He's been a big hit on social media. I think we alluded to that again when he signed towards the end of last season, when we were rumoured to be signing him, then it was brought across the line. He's good in the community side of things. And we always mentioned that when Justin Holbrook was in charge. Obviously, with the pandemic, you can't really get out and about in the community. So it'll be good to see kind of the proper playing side of Joel Thompson as well. Yeah, Matautia is one that kind of intrigues me the most. The youngest player ever to play for Australia, coming over here, still a young player. You just hope that you've found, or you've got somebody of the Jamie Lyon style. I know he's not a centre, but the Jamie Lyon style signing where he is good enough.
If he ignites, yes, for it, you're looking at an outsider potentially for a Man of Steel candidate come the end of the year. Is that too much pressure early on?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we can go into the kind of ins and outs of the Man of Steel voting and say that a Saints player isn't going to win it under the current guys because we've got too many star players. But listen, if he comes in hot, why not? Why not at all? He's got to force his way into that first 13, because you'd almost say that from 1 to 13, that is our strongest lineup. There's no one who you think, well, they're going to be on the bench, they're going to start here, there, and everywhere. That's our strongest lineup, 1 to 13, I'd say. Yeah,
obviously, Dan Norman sneaking in at number 25 in the charts. He'll obviously want to try and force his way into the reckoning and the ideas of Christian Wolff for the season.
Yeah, and I think he'll get time as well. His stats are very similar to Alex Walmsley in height and weight, and whether it's kind of a nod towards having another big forward of that ilk. He'll get game time over the first couple of weeks, I'm sure, because I think you've got to, with how the season is, obviously not as condensed as it was last year, but you are going to get games thick and fast towards the middle. I'd like to see us kind of give lads like that a bit of time early on in the season and see how they go and give them a bit of a taste of playing for the champions.
Now, obviously, we saw Josh Sim, Lewis Dodd get game time towards the back end of the year. Obviously, Jack Wellsby's probably forced his way well into the first team reckoning already. Does the experience that they gained in those games last season give Christian Wolff more chance to rotate his best side this season and get plenty of game time into these young lads, knowing that they can come in and they can fit in and they can do a job just as well as anyone else? And equally, is it a big year for the likes of Lewis Dodd?
Yeah, 100%. I know he's mentioned using the loan system because the loan system's changed slightly, so they don't have to be out of the club as long. So they'll get game time there. But it is a big year for them. You look at Aaron Smith, Josh Eaves there. Christian Wolff's kind of said to them, listen, you shouldn't be waiting for James Roby to retire. You should be putting the pressure on him for you to start. So it's a big year for the likes of them. Lewis Dodd, we know, is pretty much the next cab off the rank when it comes to halfbacks. You get a little bit of an injury on one of Lomax or Farge. He comes in for a week. Who says that he drops out of the team again? So it's been big last year and getting that experience. And listen, you're looking for him to push on, aren't you? And there's no reason why the players we mentioned there shouldn't.
Yeah, and obviously with it being the opening game of the year, it's the only chance to watch this in pre-season. Kev, I know we were having a conversation earlier, and you were saying you really like these games, obviously, because you get the chance to dissect what we've been doing in pre-season and see who those A and B runners are.
Have you been talking to Kev Cunningham? Because it's not Kev Pender. Listen, I don't mind a friendly, because you kind of get to see, I think, when you're starting 13, what Wolf's thinking of. And then you kind of see who's in his thoughts for the replacements as well. Then you get the raft of changes, and the game does split up a little bit once you start bringing the younger lads on. Because it's a wholesale changes. It's nothing to do with ability. It's just wholesale changes. So it will be interesting to see how it goes. I just hope we come out and we put a decent performance. Result isn't everything in something like this. It's just a decent performance and kind of show what we've been going through, as you say, in the training over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know what we say. Obviously, it's the first official pre-season game of the year, but obviously we did have that opposed run out against Salford last week. Do you think maybe, I don't know, we're surmising here, did we do 40 minutes for the first team against Salford and maybe put the reserves on for the second half? And is this a little bit of a step up this week? Could we maybe see 55, 60 minutes out of the side that will start the season before we then rotate players around?
Possibly. That's it. You don't know how it goes. It might just be a case of keeping wraps a little bit in cotton wool, and you might get the likes of the backs doing a good 60 minutes, but your forwards trying to push them that little bit just to get continuous minutes under the belt.
What odds on a Makinson score, Kev?
What odds on a what? Sorry, David.
A Tommy Makinson score.
Oh yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, he's definitely going to. And if not, if he hasn't scored by the time he's about to get substituted, which I'd imagine he would, to give other lads a go, I think he's got to go for one of his long range drop goals, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, in the first half. If he's watching this tonight, we'll do request a bet.
Yeah,
Tommy Makinson first half drop goal. Right, the Leigh squad. You can bring it up. Some names that we're all familiar with in there, the likes of Ryan Braley, Matty Russell, Junior Sow, Joe Mellor, who always went well at Widnes. Alex Gerrard's in there. But it looks a squad that isn't really built for Super League at this moment in time. Would you agree?
Listen, they could surprise some teams on the day. They'll probably get a couple of wins. Your gut feeling is they've not had enough time to prepare for Super League, have they?
What would count as success this season for Leigh staying up?
11th. I think 11th would be as good as them winning the league.
Do you feel it's a bit unfair for them to have been placed in a position where they could go straight back down this season? Should they have been protected for a year?
Yeah, possibly so. I think the only problem is with obviously the pandemic and the kind of, they don't want to stop a promotion, they don't want to stop a promotion and then make it 13 teams, because they'll have to share the money out a little bit more at the moment as things stand. I think because it's such short notice, you've got to turn around and think, is it fair not to relegate one team, but like they've done in the past where Catalan wouldn't get relegated, but other teams got relegated round them who didn't finish bottom. It's a no-win situation for me, for them. I'd love to see us go to 14, at least 14 teams in Super League. This could have been a way of doing it by just turning around saying there's going to be no relegation this year. We're going to kind of push on and see who gets see who gets promoted next year and push it up again and again, and just either slowly do it or bring 2 teams up. There could be a better way of doing this, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Leigh squad. Do you know what? I'm being a little bit unfair because if you actually go through it, there's a lot of experience in there. If they keep them fit,
I think that's the main thing. It's the main thing of keeping them fit, and they have got experience. Listen, as I say, I think 11th will be a success. Definitely a success for them, because there are teams who, I mean, you look at some of the teams last year and you think Wakefield were falling away. Hull KR are usually around there, but you'd think that Tony Smith will keep them out of that, or he should keep them out of that with his experience. There's no saying that they won't, that Leigh can't finish 11th, but personally, I think I'd stick with a lot of people who are tipping them to finish 12th, and unfortunately, that's where I'd have them. I'm happy to be proved wrong on that as well.
Yeah, and do you know what? There's no ill feeling towards Leigh at all. They've got a nice little stadium. It's 10 minutes up the road. It's not Hull KR. So yeah, if we can help them out during the season with offering them 2 points and rest a few players, if we're safely at the top of the table, why not?
Yeah.
Right, predictions for tomorrow then, Kev.
I think Saints will win by at least 24.
Well, Kev, that is the handicap.
Is it?
It is 24 on the handicap. So you know where Kev's money's going tomorrow?
Handicap draw, yeah.
Oh, you know you're gonna have to put that on now, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I've said it. Yeah, I think by at least 24. I just think the experience that we've got will probably, the experience and fitness as well. I know the players haven't had a proper run out yet. They've had that opposed against Salford, but no, I just think a proper Super League champion team should be putting at least 24 on Leigh whenever it is.
Yeah. Just before we go, obviously, if everyone gets a chance, go to the Saints website and have a look at the squad photos, the individual squad pics that obviously got took this week ahead of the season. We're not footballers, you can tell, because there's a combination there of the barbers are shut and they've tried it themselves. I'll let people decide who's who.
That sounds like me and you.
Kev, the barbers are shut. There's 2 weeks growth in this. Still not great, but yeah, there's a couple of horrifically home-done haircuts in that Saints squad. But it's good to see that they're sticking to the COVID guidelines.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm actually just started looking through them, and Lachlan Cook's the first one that I think he's going to claim it was windy that day, isn't he? Tommy's actually looks good. Tommy's sorted there, isn't it? So
that's his testimonial. Yeah, you can't be looking bad.
Yeah, exactly. Theo's got an Alice band in, has he?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Ooh la la, indeed.
Mr. Walmsley hasn't had his haircut. James hasn't got the luxury.
That's my thing. When I eventually start shaving my head, I'm going to literally go for the James Arobi, but out of necessity rather than choice.
Joel Thompson's a rugged bloke who's definitely gone in his own hair with the shears.
Yeah, good lad.
Morgan's let it grow. Sion, Matautia.
Are you literally going to go through all 30 players looking at the hair now?
Louis would make anything look stylish. Ignatius Parsi has taken over. What was his face? We signed Attilia Vea. Remember Attilia Vea we had with the luscious locks? And we used to say he looked like he'd come off a hair ad. Well, that's now Iggy Parsi.
Iggy Parsi. Fair enough.
Poor old Jack Wellesby. I'm not saying everything. That's got to be a home attempt, hasn't it?
Listen, I can't talk about haircuts. I've had grief people about my haircuts. And you've had grief at the tip as well, haven't you, for Burnley fan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Do you know what, Kev?
Good lad.
Do you know what, Kev? Actually, that's right. Before we go, we didn't mention this the other night. Just to show how much we love Tommy Makinson, we are forgoing the Everton and Burnley derby tomorrow.
Yeah, the Redvee
Redvee
Derby.
Derby, and we're forgetting it to watch Tommy's testimonial.
Yep.
So there we go. Right, I think we're done and dusted.
I think
We've put targets in our head for the haircut brigade.
I can't talk. I'm quite open about that. I can't talk about anybody's haircuts.
Very soon, Kev, you'll be able to turn your head upside down.
Yeah, it should with this. There's a bit more grey in this though, so never mind.
I say that, you know. Do you know what? One of my mates put a photo up 15 years ago on the ale in town and said, "Looking good, Lion." And one of the lads replied, "I can't believe you once had a neck." There we go.
Never
Right,
mind.
I think that's it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you for an instant fan reaction tomorrow evening. And fingers crossed we come through unscathed. See you later, Kev.
See you, Dave.